They told her to carry the tray, not because she was junior, not because it was her duty, but because someone wanted to remind her where they thought she belonged. Lieutenant Sarah Collins adjusted the crisp edge of her dress uniform and lifted the polished silver tray from the table. Porcelain plates rattled softly as she steadied her hands. Around her, the officers' dining hall buzzed with low conversation, deep voices, laughter, the clink of glassware. This room was reserved for generals, and tonight she was invisible. "Move it," her superior muttered under his breath, not bothering to look at her. "They're waiting." Sarah nodded once and stepped forward. She walked slowly between the long tables, her boots echoing against the marble floor. The smell of roasted meat and fresh bread filled the air, but her focus stayed straight ahead. Years of training had taught her how to disappear when necessary. At the first table, she placed a plate in front of a two-star general. He barely glanced at her. At the second table, another plate, another nod dismissed without words. A few officers noticed her presence and exchanged looks, quiet, amused, curious. "Didn't know we hired waitstaff in uniform now," one of them whispered. A chuckle followed. Sarah kept moving. Her sleeve shifted as she reached forward, and for just a moment, the light caught something on her chest. Silver. One of the generals paused mid-sentence. "Hold on," he said. The table went quiet. Sarah froze instinctively, tray still in her hands. The general leaned forward, eyes narrowing, not in anger, but recognition. "Lieutenant," he said calmly, "where did you earn that?" She followed his gaze. The silver star, pinned precisely where it had always been. Her voice was steady. "Eastern Afghanistan, sir." A few heads turned. The general stood. Chairs scraped softly as others followed his movement, confusion rippling through the room. "I was briefed on that operation," he said slowly. "The ambush in the valley." Sarah swallowed. "Yes, sir. You held the perimeter alone after your squad leader was hit." The room had gone silent now. "You coordinated air support under fire and carried 2 wounded soldiers to extraction." Someone dropped a fork. "I remember reading your citation," he finished. "I didn't expect to see you serving lunch." Sarah said nothing. She didn't have to. The general turned to the room. "Does anyone here know what the silver star represents?" No one spoke. "It's awarded for gallantry in action, for courage above and beyond." He looked at her superior. "Why is an officer with this distinction carrying plates?" Her superior shifted, suddenly very aware of every eye in the room. "It was a misunderstanding, sir." The general nodded once. "Then let's correct it." He turned back to Sarah. "Lieutenant Collins, put the tray down." She did. "Take a seat." The order wasn't loud. It didn't need to be. As she moved to the empty chair at the head table, the officers stood. Every one of them. Not out of protocol, out of respect. And for the first time that evening, Sarah wasn't invisible. Because courage doesn't disappear just because someone tries to humiliate it, and medals have a way of telling the truth.